Hey, what's up? Back again.
That first bass note hit me in the chest, and I was just like, there's no way that's 2/8.
MB Enclosures has his own YouTube channel, and this guy is an animal when it comes to designing boxes.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. Hello, America. I'm always trying to bring you the latest tech, something new. No sense rehash the same old stuff over and over again with a different take, different spin. The channel name is MB Enclosure. Big bass, small space. A lot of you have become believers that you can take 2/8 facing forward and outperform any shallow driver out there on the market. My beloved Digital Designs has great shallow subwoofers, the SL608, which I have reviewed on the channel, the SL610 and the 612. The 608 has a XMAX of 12 millimeters. The 610, SL610 and 612 have a XMAX of 14.5. Great options, shallow performance. But I've always said, let's put the 8s facing forward. Don't use downfire if you can get away from it. Mainly because you couldn't get the XMAX that you can get with a full-size driver facing forward. Yeah, my Digital Designs 2508, 20 millimeters XMAX, one way. I think it's the J Audio. The second choice I've always said was the J Audio TW5. I believe that's a 13, which sounds great in a sealed box. How you think you listen to a ported subwoofer? But they have no port application for that sub. It's always recommended you use seal. So the F3 drops off at 41, and substantially as you go down even farther, it doesn't really give you impactful lows. So I give away looking at shallow drivers. Man, you think about this shallow driver. What do you think about this shallow driver? I say, hey man, it's not too much anybody's gonna be able to do until they can figure out how to increase that XMAX and get it the ability to handle more power and how to cool it off. Well, lo and behold, WavTech has introduced their first and only subwoofer for their line. Now, WaveTech is a company that came out powdering their sales and developing their country similar to audio control. They came out saying, hey, you don't want to put aftermarket radio in your system, in your car, because you just can't remove the radio. They came out with OEM replacement, signal processors. They have they have their own bass processor that, in my opinion, is superior to the audio control. We're gonna touch on that later. Because the Designs has one too that's, in my opinion, superior to audio control. I'll be changing mine here shortly. But anyway, WaveTech pioneered that at first, signal processing and OEM solutions. Well, recently, I think this year, I don't know how many months ago, they came out with their first subwoofer. It's been said you want to be a millionaire, find a problem and come up with a solution. The problem is you guys want 12s under your CD truck. 2 12s. All the hip hop songs say 2 12s in the trunk. And truck owners want the same thing. That was the problem. That's what you wanted. The problem was you couldn't put that under the seat of a vehicle, or under the seat of a truck and get a substantial bass, mainly because you couldn't get the XMAX. They have solved the problem with their ThinPro shallow driver. 750 watts RMS, 5-inch voice coil, 3-inch mountain depth, and 2 inches peak to peak excursion. 2 inches peak to peak. What does that mean, MB? 21 millimeters XMAX. And a driver that's 3 inches. Putting that in perspective, Digital Designs only has 14.5 and they're 12. J Audio, I believe, has 11. 21. What's that? I believe it's 21. I think it's 20 or 21. It might be 20. Let me just hands on 20. I know it's in the twos for sure. 20 millimeters XMAX. Let's look at this boy, because they done solved the problem. First, I'm going to tell you right now, this thing has some heft to it. Yes, it does. Weighs, I don't want to lie, but it has some heft to it. Let's open it up and look at this manual. Let's figure out just how much XMAX does it have. The TS parameters are at say, oh, I'm correct. XMAX, 20 millimeters each way. X mechanical, 54 millimeters. 54 millimeters. The FS on this driver in a 2-ohm configuration, which is what this is 25. And a 4-ohm, the FS is 26. The VAS is 42 liters, 1.8 cubic feet. That's the surrounding air that has the same stiffness as the suspension. It's full-size driver performance, fellas, and a 3-inch mountain depth. 5-inch voice core, QTS of 0.46, SPL of 83 in a D2, in a 2-ohm, and 84 and a 4-ohm. SD cone area 79 square inches. What does that mean? Roughly the cone area of 2 2508s. I love my 8s facing forward. But 3-inch mountain depth. Here's the thing you want to know. Sealed enclosure specs is 0.6. Ported enclosure specs is 1Q. This is the second driver that I believe, if it passed the test, might be able to give you the experience you want when you just have to have 12s and you want a downfire application. This might cut the mustard. We're gonna see. Let's get this boy out the box. That was easy. She had that button on, baby. That was easy. Everything comes wrapped in plastic. Yes, yes. Let's turn this camera around, fellas. Okay. First thing I want you to notice, it didn't even work on my stand, is that this is a honeycomb Nomex glass fiber composite cone. Yeah. Very, very rigid. Honeycomb probably means they're using a hexagon shape throughout its structure to keep it rigid and stiff. That's what I would assume. It has a reinforced structure force transfer assembly. I'm not going to lie and tell you I know what that means. I have no idea. What I do know is that it does have a surround similar to the Alpine surround. Similar, because it has double rows. It is made out of rubber, so that you have a certain amount of travel from the first row, and then when it gets to the top of that 20 millimeters of excursion, the second row gonna kick in. I can say this with confidence because it was told to me. This surround was developed by Alpine. The engineer for Alpine, his name is Jason, I do not know his last name, is the acoustic engineer behind WaveTech. He is the acoustic engineer behind this ThinPro driver, 12-inch driver. He was the engineer that developed the Type X, Type R, and PDX subwoofers for Alpine. He branched off and started his own company, and he used his own topography on this surround that he developed for his driver. I want to point something else out too as well. We'll get to that later. It has dual mirror MBR spiders. MBR, what does that mean? Rubber spider, fellas. This driver has rubber spiders as well as, and they're dual spiders. Longevity of use. Let's get this thing so we can possibly flip it so you can see it this way. Look at that top plate. Can you guys see that top plate in there? You possibly can't. Let me see if I can hold it up away and bring the camera. Look at that. Yes, look at that top plate assembly. And inside you can see that 5-inch voice coil that is a polymer former. That's probably some space age state. I do not know, but this is a polymer former. And if you look closely, now this is what's interesting. You say, well, MB, where's the spider? Stay tuned. Let me show you something. Yeah. That's one of them right there. There's another one, I presume, on the backside. This right here, I've been told by Jason, is a way that you use this in a sealed enclosure. You can add weight and lower the FS of the driver even more than what it is. This is the back plate of the driver. I showed you the top plate. Dual slugs. This is a cast aluminum basket with venting and increased surface area to help dissipate the heat. Look at this. This is very interesting as well. Very, very interesting. Look at where the cone, so let's go up to the top. You see that? Okay, that's the spider. Now underneath it's like a collar. Now I think that must be the reinforced structure motor assembly transfer. Yeah. To help keep it extremely linear throughout its stroke. Oh, I think I do see. Maybe I can get the camera for you guys as well. No, that's not it. No, I was thinking that this right here was the spider. No, that is actually, I don't know how he got this thing put together. But boy, we finna hear, because this says 20 millimeters of XMAX, 54 mechanical, 750 watts RMS, and 2,250 watts peak. I thought I could balance it here, but I can't. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out some kind of way of free air testing it. But it is a single. It is a single voice coil, which accepts up to 8 gauge. Yeah, I would say 10. Up to 10 gauge wiring. The tensile lead, boy, it's got some heft to it. I want you to see how let's just move that out the way. How about that? Okay, look at the tensile leads, how they are integrated to get the signal to the voice coil. Oh, that's very interesting. I can't wait to free air this. This is, and it has a 3-inch mount depth. This looks like a spaceship. I'm just be honest with you. I know a lot of you are sitting there like, MB, yeah, you done went and found something now. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Let's really quantify how thin this thing is. Let's pull out a credit card. Not mine, because I know everybody who's watching the channel is that. Yes. Yes, look at that. Just a little bit taller than the credit card. Just a little bit. I'm intrigued. I know you guys are stoked. Yet I think I'm the only one on the internet that has found, that is reviewing this driver. Pretty soon you're gonna see them popping up everywhere. Just know that you're seeing them here first. I'm always bringing you that new tech. And maybe we can get the engineer on the channel to talk about this revolutionary design driver. Engineered. WaveTech, ThinPro. Stay tuned for the free air test. This should be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Peace.